Eco! No downtime at all. Ever.
I don't think I should try to jump that with this. Whoa, I went over it. Go around this. Let's see if we can have a little bit of fun. Okay, ease up on that. We're gonna break up the floor. Ooh, getting hit by a shovel. For far too long, my good girl. My baby has sat here neglected, not being driven. Well, I think that needs to change now. The issues we have going on, something's going on with the transmission. It's supposed to be a good transmission. It's a used one. I may have put the wrong fluid in. I'm gonna dump that. I'm gonna dump the fluid, check that out, see if there's any shavings. If there's not, I'm gonna try switching the fluid because I might have put the wrong kind of fluid in. Another issue I have is my brand new aluminum radiator, which is just the Chinese knockoff, but it's a USA. It's leaking. I gotta pull it out, try to find that, and hopefully get it welded and fixed. I don't know, I'm gonna clean up a little bit, so let's fast forward and do that. Big shout out to my mom for donating this to the channel, to the shop, to whatever you want to call it, donating it to me. Let me have it for use. I'm going to be using it in the clean room for tools and parts, but right now my table's gone. I got a friend borrow that for garage sale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it for tools and whatnot. Yeah. Hey look! Found a bag of zip ties. Best find of the day. Well, that's a bit better. She's about ready to be worked on. I got everything underneath all cleared out for the most part, blew it all out. I've got the new parts for her up here. New tools that are for building these, but old tools, still got all those. The axles are in here, gas struts for the rear end. Bit of work we're gonna be doing. I hope that quiets down, but you know, one of the big problems I have working up here is I always wreck my clothes, so I got a way to fix that. Check this out, alright? Just give me 1 second. Shabam! I have always wanted to get myself a denim suit to keep my clothes protected when I'm crawling around on the ground underneath these things. That way when I get done, you have no idea the amount of clothes I wreck. This, I'll just keep this out here. I'll slip it on when I work in the car. I'll slip it off. Shoot. We'll see how it works. Hopefully it works well. You better like it. Let's dive on in. I've never owned an Eagle Talon with the working rear struts, so I think that's gonna be my first thing. Now that I actually have a way to do that, I'm gonna put them on. Didn't make it. So here's how I keep my trunk open. Most Eagle Talon owners can sympathize with this. throughout my life, I've probably had, I don't know, 5 to 10 Eagle Talons, Mitsubishi Eclipses, whatever. And they've all had one thing in common. Every single one has had the back hatch held open by a nice little prop rod. But finally, I guess I'm growing up, because with this final piece right here, oh boy. That's it. No more stick. Look at that, a trunk. Oh! So much to do, but we got the back strut done. What should we do next? Bring the tripod up to the front. I think I'm going to tackle the battery terminals, because that's a safety thing. We'll be tearing into the transmission, but that's going to all be one. So let's get everything done as far as drivability. That way when we do tear into it and get it going, it'll just be, you know, good to go. So without further ado. It's a regular old universal battery mount kit from local hardware store. I'm debating what way to put this. That should fix the issue of the battery. Just so you know, that was incredibly stupid. I should have had goggles on. I know. So yeah, she's in there sturdy, bolted down. I got those on there so it'll stop doing that crap. I'm happy. Now it's time to pull this thing out. Yay. I found the leak. And I don't understand how. Oh my gosh. I'm a moron. You want to see what punctured my radiator? At least I'll admit it. I'm a moron. I took the condenser out. And I didn't take the bolt out for the condenser, so when I bolted the radiator in, that put a hole in it. Right there's a little tiny hole. Good news, it's fixable. So, bad news, that was stupid. Gosh, that was stupid. How can you be so stupid? What I really want to know is how that didn't puncture it sooner. I was running it for a week before it started leaking. bad bearing. Always put your bolts back in place so you don't lose them, even though this one's got to be replaced. Or this one of them does. It's easy enough to tell which one. Yeah, it's that one. That's all bearing play. You see that? Yeah, this one was pretty bad. I need to get the rotor off the hub though. I'm gonna work on this for a bit. Well, a lot of hammering with the hammer and a little bit of work with the welder, and I am pulling the last busted piece out right now. Welded a nut onto it to get it off. It's still pretty hot. So I got them both out. I had to pound it out, but it's okay because with that bearing being as shot as it is, this needs to be turned anyways, so it's still good though. This is why I wanted a new axle. I don't know if I got play in there. It's a little bit. It's still a usable axle. I'm going to save it as a spare. But with that busted boot, it's on borrowed time. I can replace the boot and rebuild it and have a good spare. Other side off. All right, well, I guess this is kind of a moment of truth. I got the hubs off. I'm underneath the car right now. I got a clean bucket, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain the tranny fluid. I'm gonna see what comes out of this thing, and I guess from that is how I'm gonna decide where to go from here, if I'm pulling the tranny or not. So I'm gonna let you guys see what I see and try not to get dirt in my mouth. What I'm seeing isn't the greatest. There's a lot of teeny tiny metal. But to be honest, I think I'll be okay as long as there's no big chunks. Hopefully I can just get the crap out of it and get the right stuff in and go from there. Because it wasn't constantly making noise, it was just once it warmed up it made noise. So hopefully the right fluid will get the right gaps in all the stuff in the transmission. I probably just took time out of this transmission, not gonna lie. We'll see. These transmissions need synchro mesh for their brass bushing, something or another. I didn't put synchro mesh in, I put in regular 80-90. Thankfully, I only put a couple 100 miles on the car, but it started making a noise. That noise is bearings, metal on metal. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping my transmission's okay. I think if I get all the bad fluid out, get the new stuff in, maybe it'll be good to go. So, whew, it's exciting. I mean, I'm that much closer to getting it done. And you know what, I shouldn't even say that. It's just having this thing on the road. I don't care what it looks like. When it's on the road, when you're behind the wheel, when you're inside that thing, when I'm inside that thing, it's freedom. It feels great. I love it. Woo! That's my baby girl. Aside from Kylie, I love you, Kylie. You're my number one. She's my number two, but I love both of you. Oh, bye, everybody.